Hello, hello. This is Jamika Muhammad, and welcome back to another episode of What Does Wellness Mean to Me? And today we have a special guest. Our special guest today is Mr. Mike Minnella, and he is here with White Oak Institute. And where are you guys out of?
We're out of Frankfurt and Orland Park, Illinois.
Frankfurt and Orland Park, out of Frankfurt and Orland Park here in Illinois. So, we're going to be talking today about wellness, what it means, different aspects of wellness. So, give us a little background information about who you are, what you do, what exactly White Oak Institute is.
Well, White Oak Institute is, like what I was saying, located in Frankfurt and Orland Park, Illinois. And we do individual, group, and family counseling as well as couples counseling. And we have recently started some wellness days when we opened the Orland Park office. And we're going to expand that some more in the late spring of this year. My background is in wellness and individual and substance and family and couples counseling at the White Oak Institute in Orland Park. And I also have a background in as a clinical director at a substance place in Tinley Park. But at the White Oak Institute, we like to incorporate a lot of wellness skills into our counseling sessions, and that's what makes it more unique and able to outreach the community even more so than just regular counseling sessions.
Yeah. So, when you think about wellness, what does that mean to you, someone being well or the pursuit of wellness?
Well, when I think about wellness, I think about not only the counseling aspects of it, but also other aspects such as spiritual wellness. It's important, financial wellness, and also really just connecting with people is important. It assists with people feeling well when they can connect with other people and other groups and in the community as well.
So then you believe that it's not just physical wellness, but mental, emotional, spiritual health. All of that plays a part in your overall wellness.
Yes, that absolutely does. And we can also incorporate these special techniques into our counseling sessions, such as the breathing techniques, the mindfulness, the meditation, which I do a lot of in my sessions. So there's something called CBT, that's cognitive behavioral therapy, as well as DBT, dialectical behavioral therapy, and mindfulness skills that I like to strongly emphasize in my sessions. So the White Oak Institute does, most of the therapists incorporate those skills as well, and some of us have some other specialty areas that we like to work on with our clients.
So how do you educate, since, we said that, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, all that is a part of wellness. So besides the mindfulness and the breathing techniques that you give them while they're there, how do you educate your clients on the benefits of this holistic approach to wellness?
Yes. Well, when we do our initial assessment, that assists us with gathering more information about the client or family that we're working with, or the couple. And sometimes as we go along, we find out more information that will help us to provide additional information for the client and facilitate their well-being with the skills that we'll be working on and the psychoeducational information that we will provide for them. and incorporate that into more of a complete treatment program for them.
Do you give them homework? I know, as far as counseling, um, there's things they want to work on, right? Or
Yes.
think about from session to session. Does any of that, or do you ever encourage any like physical activity with that? Or what type of homework do you give that may work towards their overall wellness?
Yes, we will incorporate homework into the client's plan before they come back to see us the next time. There may be a variety of skills that may be, that they can write down and answer questions, or there may be some breathing skills that we'd like to them for to practice before they come back for their next session, and also possibly even some physical skills that somebody like me with a fitness background can provide to them as far as stretching to release some of those tense muscles, which can contribute to the anxiety that they're experiencing.
Yeah, yeah. We often, when we're seeing clients for neck pain or shoulder pain, we notice, and like you said, during the evaluation, that there's usually a lot of stress and anxiety
Yeah,
involved in the neck and shoulder pain, and it's not just that aspect that we're working on muscular, right? That there is a whole lot of other things that are contributing to their muscular pain that we see, and the things that we're trying to improve upon. So a lot of times we have people that have a lot of stress in their lives, or anxiety, anxiousness about wherever they are in life, that is contributing. So we with the stretches, we often talk, like you said, about mindfulness, about breathing, to kind of help deregulate
hmm
the nervous system,
hmm
that parasympathetic, sympathetic nervous system, to get it to regulate so they're not always in fight or flight, and
hmm
everything is so, go, go, go. But how do you define wellness personally? What are some things that you do for your overall wellness?
Well, I believe that a person does need to incorporate some physical movement depending on their ability to move. So if their range of motion is restrictive, then they'll have to do some lighter movement. But if they can move better, there's nothing like good old-fashioned walking and hitting the trails and doing that. I do like to incorporate some light weight training. I do have a background in fitness training, but I like to do more calisthenics now that I
Mm-hmm.
feel is more beneficial for myself. So when I like to do a variety of things, calisthenics, Pilates, and some yoga stretches as part of my workout. I also like to incorporate swimming. I have a
Mm-hmm.
pool at home, and my wife and I have property in Michigan that we like to go out and de-stress ourselves on the boats and the fishing and the boating, and all of that really helps to contribute to our ability to manage our stress.
Yeah, yeah. Um, you seem like you get in a lot of different activities, which is good. Variety is nice, because your body doesn't get used to any particular thing. And even like you said, just going out on the boat, sometimes people don't think that is health or wellness, but it's definitely great for your mental wellness to kind of have
Yes.
some time when you can relax, you can not think about the other things that are stressing you out,
Yeah.
doing something that you enjoy.
Well, there's nothing like connecting with family and friends
Yeah.
when you're able to get out in nature for the walks, the swimming, the boating, and again, connecting with other people is very beneficial to wellness and stress management. So I highly would recommend any of that.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you manage to get all that in with your busy schedule? How do you like plan out to get in?
Well, when I come home from the White Oak Institute, there isn't much time, so I have to squeeze in some exercise and the stretches and some breathing skills. I really highly recommend people incorporate some type of breathing skills, whether it's diaphragmic, uh, other type of breath works, and it's all beneficial when it comes to regulating yourself and assisting others with regulation of their stress. Every day, people will experience various levels of stress, no matter what type of job they do,
That's true.
who they've been talking to for that day, and sometimes just need to take time for ourselves.
Yeah. Because you're right. During the day, you may be having a good day, but then the wrong person comes in, or the right person, but just the wrong conversation.
Yeah.
And it can definitely change how the rest of your day goes.
One of the things I noticed that the people I talk to and that I've met in counseling sessions in the community is that they have a tendency to put too much on their plate, load up too many responsibilities and activities into, and even try to do it all in one day, and it's just not possible to do. So certainly some time management skills and some increased organization that helps out a lot, and just taking things down to a more reasonable level that each person can do without getting too stressed out.
Yeah. When you talk about organization, what are some tips you can give to help improve, organizing life so that you don't get so overstressed?
Well, there's something called executive functioning that is in the front part of our brain, and that is the part responsible for the organization of each person and the skills that they have for organizing. So certainly good old-fashioned writing down your daily plan or using your phone for notes is good, and putting things in your calendar so that
Yeah.
you can do a reasonable amount of things for each day, so that by the time you get to the end of the week, you can have time to de-stress for
Yeah.
yourself and with your family.
Yeah, I was talking to a couple of people this week, and it's funny that that topic came up, and it was about one was talking about time blocking, to get certain things done within a time period. Talking about setting up timers, on your phone for starting and stopping, to focus on a particular activity and not moving, and putting headphones on and turning your phone off and putting it in another room, and different tips like that. And then today, even talking to someone about planner and writing down things every hour that you have planned or that you need to accomplish, so that, like you said, you're able to get the things done, be productive, but then also have that work-life balance where at the end of the day, the end of the week, you're not like, oh my goodness, I still got a million things to do that I
Right.
didn't get done. Like,
Yeah.
where did the time go? It seems to
Yeah.
go away so fast.
Yes. One of the things that one of my teachers way back when I was in a recreation program at Moraine Valley is she told us to teach from simple to complex. And you can take that strategy and apply it to your everyday life. That way you're putting on just enough that you can accomplish in the day. And if you have a little extra time to do something, start something else, that's okay. But again, allowing yourself to de-stress and regulate your thoughts, feelings, and so that you can sleep well is very important also. I'm finding out that a lot of people, sometimes they will not report it, or they will underreport how much sleep they're getting, until I find out later in a session that they're not sleeping enough. And that may be somewhere in the area of 4 hours or less, which is
Yeah.
really not enough sleep at all.
How much sleep would you recommend?
I would recommend 6 to 8 hours for people each day.
Yeah.
most of the time that should be achievable, but some days it isn't because you may have put down too many things on your
Because you
plate.
might have put too much on your schedule.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I definitely lately. Well, I like sleep. I've always been a like sleep person, and I've usually been a certain bedtime person. And I'm like, oh, 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock means it's time for me to start getting ready for bed. So I have a timer that's set. And every night at 10 o'clock, it tells me it's 10 o'clock. And I'm like, okay, I have to decide then either I start getting ready for bed or I keep doing what I'm doing, but know that it's past 10 o'clock and I need to start, getting ready. But I do agree that sleep is a very important thing because your body needs that to recharge, reorganize, rebuild, reset the body's functions. It needs time to woosah.
Yes. Another good point too is to try not to bring your phone and your laptop anywhere near your bed. You should remove that electronics, at least a half hour, preferably about an hour before you go to bed, so that you're not tempted to engage electronics in when you should be decompressing for them today and enjoying a restful night's sleep.
Well, I will say I am not good at that. I have not gotten that aspect of it yet. However, also at 10 o'clock, I've set up on my phone to go to sleep mode.
Okay.
So what sleep mode is at 10, all of the sounds go off. So I can't get notifications. I can't get texts. You can have it set where, certain people can still call you if that's what you want. But there's no, it's only black and white as well.
Yeah.
Which, if you're online and you're doing something, black and white sucks. And so it kind of deters you from being online. It's like, oh, okay, my 10 o'clock sleep mode has set in. So let me just put the phone up. So again, not always consistent with that, but like putting it away because I do sleep with it beside me, but it's just on like that sleep mode where there's no notifications and things like that. And I found that has been a lot helpful too, because when you constantly get ding, 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 and you have all these notifications on your phone, you're like, ooh, let me check. Oh, let me see what it is. And that kind of decreases your ability to shut down and shut off.
Yes. Well, it's like we were mentioning earlier that wellness incorporates many different aspects of a person's life. The shutting down the electronics early. People tend to worry too much about finances, and they will ruminate on those things when they really need to just let it go and de-stress themselves for the day. And then start thinking too much about personal and family problems that can be let go of and addressed later.
So, what do you think is the most misunderstood aspect about wellness?
I think that when people think about wellness, they tend to think more of physical exercise. And to me, that's an important aspect of it, but sometimes and more often than not, it's not the most important thing. Even if you could get just a little bit of activity or little activity and do more of breathing skills and even talking with your spouse or your family members each day, and you're connecting with a good friend, that's wellness too. So I think the tendency is to think too much about physical activity as the lone thing that somebody can do for wellness, when really it incorporates many aspects of a person's life.
So, you're saying that community is a big part of wellness.
Yes, it is. And places like the White Oak Institute, Anointed Hands, we all are reaching out to the community and participating and people recognize this and they see, oh yeah, these agencies do more than just counseling. They really want to help people in all aspects of their life.
Yeah.
And that's good. That's really good.
Can you elaborate on maybe some examples of community type wellness or different things people can participate in? So, like you said, talking to spouses, friends, different. Can it be even an event where you don't know someone in particular, but you're still like around, surrounded, doing a common thing? Could that be community?
Yes, absolutely. And one of the things that White Oak Institute does is we participate in local parades in Frankfurt uh, at least at Labor Day, and we do other events too. And Halloween, we connect with the community and dress up in Halloween costumes and really try to connect with children and families. But one of the other things that we can do is attending events such as senior lifestyle expos
expo,
in Homer
yes.
Township that
Yeah.
we first met at. And that was an opportunity for people to connect with many different providers from all over the community. And that was really helpful.
Yeah.
And it's very helpful. So things like that, even see what your company's doing. They may be doing staff bowling or just going out to enjoy a nice dinner together, and that's also good too.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are like, oh, I work with these people all day. I don't want to go and hang out, or so and so gets on my nerves, so I don't want to. But that is a good stress reliever. And it is good, to do things like that, to get outside of your box. And then you get to enjoy people outside of that work mode where it may be go, 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 go. And you realize that once they're not at work, they're actually chill or cool or relaxed. They're not as stressed.
Right. Well, now that we're approaching Easter holiday, this is a great way to connect with family and spiritual as well if you enjoy doing that. But definitely a great opportunity to connect with family at Easter time. And it's a very, very good holiday.
What inspired you to get into the health wellness industry?
Well, I was actually way back when I left my high school. I took the strong interest inventory at Moraine Valley Community College, and it showed some strength areas for me in counseling, social work, fitness, and recreation. And so I used that as my roadmap to plan out my college education, and it's worked out very well for me. I've been able to incorporate some of the skills that I've utilized in fitness and recreation into my counseling sessions. So I would definitely recommend, if you are not sure of what area to explore, to take an interest inventory online or go to your local community college and get it done at that place.
Tell us more about your fitness and recreational background. What did you do there?
Well, I became a certified personal trainer, and then I became a master fitness trainer at the International Sports Science Association out of New York. And that gave me additional opportunities to network with people out of state. And I also facilitated some personal training seminars for the ISSA. But I also, like I had mentioned before, the instructor who taught us about teaching from simple to complex was very impactful for me. I have a background in recreation management and therapeutic recreation, which is I still continue to do some work with people with developmental challenges, and I've carried that all the way to this day. So it's been well over 30 years now that I've been able to do it. So my fitness and recreation background has definitely been impactful to this day.
Yeah, and still using it. Do you incorporate a lot of that with like the wellness events that you put on at the White Oak Institute?
Well, uh, we have outreach the community so that the people who have challenges or just anybody who wants to come can come. So we will be planning more wellness events and hopefully even coordinating with the Anointed Hands so that we can even further outreach the community. So yes, there are opportunities for people from all walks of life to come to our wellness events.
So your wellness events is not necessarily just for staff, but more so for the community.
Yes, the recent wellness event we did at the White Oak Institute, we did some painting where my daughter's uh, fiance is a tattoo artist, and he was very patient and did some painting with the children that all came. So he was managed to facilitate the paintings for the children that all came, and they loved it. And they made their own Christmas cards, and
Nice.
they really got the idea of what it was like to utilize a tattoo painting pen to do art.
Oh, okay.
And they really liked that, and we incorporated that, and we did some nutritional. Now that's another important aspect too, is nutrition, and that's something that, again, that I incorporate into my counseling and wellness sessions, as many people forget that that's an important component of
wellness. Yes.
Of wellness.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because nutrition is, I mean, you can, depending on what your goals are, I'll say that. If you're trying to lose weight, right, then nutrition is very important, because you can't, no matter how much working out you do, if your nutrition doesn't go along with that, you're going to be eating the same amount of calories you're burning.
Right, exactly. And sometimes people don't understand that if they try to, just by increasing the amount of or intensity of their workout, doesn't mean they're going to lose weight. They really have to be more mindful of incorporating good, healthy nutritional guidelines to assist with their weight management or just keeping themselves healthy in a normal weight range.
Yeah. And then even food wise, is not always about weight loss, but it is a lot about the health of your body. You know, you have people that are super thin, and people see them and say, oh, well, they thin, they can eat anything. Doesn't mean they should eat anything. It means that you still should be eating more fruits, more vegetables, getting more stuff like that in, where people don't understand that, well, I could eat anything I want. Yes, you could, but then you're putting your body internally in a more acidic environment. And the body then has to, because, you know, as we talked about, sleeping and getting rest. If your body is so busy trying to process and handle and figure out all this processed foods and meats and whatever it doesn't know what to do with, if it's too busy doing this, then even the sleep can be disturbed if our nutrition is not right.
You're exactly right. And by indulging in too much of the foods that such
Too
as
much is the key.
too much pizza and that, it's good, but you have to be mindful that if you've eaten too much, it may be keeping you awake at night and then deprive you of getting enough sleep at night.
Right. Yeah.
So, you know, anybody can make shopping a wellness event, because you can look. I really stress to my clients to look at nutritional labels on these foods and check to see whether it has the guidelines that you want to be looking for, to not only for weight management, but to eat the right amount of fiber, protein, and carbohydrate intake. It's got to be within normal nutritional guidelines.
Yeah.
So shopping at stores can be a wellness event. You can make it in each time you go.
Sometimes it can be stressful, though, too.
It can be. But
look, when I go with my husband and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm looking for something, and everything I take off, and he's like, are you going to read every label? I'm like, yes, yes, I am. Give me a minute. And so for him, it's a little stressful.
yes, well,
He's like, dude, you don't have to read. I said, I got to make sure what's in here or what's not in here.
yeah, well, I assist my spouse with picking out some of the items and taking some of the stress off of her by helping her with the shopping, and not only with making some good healthy choices, but to lessen the amount of time that you're at the store and going at times where it's not going to take you as long.
Yeah, because sometimes shopping trips can be very long. So I've gotten more to like doing online, not necessarily shopping, some shopping, but mostly online, like searching. So I'm like, oh, this is what I'm looking. Oh, okay. This is. So then when I go in the store, I already have an idea of what I'm trying to get because I've already looked at the nutritional stuff on the back. Because even recently, I've been doing more protein shakes and looking at the difference in them and all the stuff that's in them and this and that and that. And I was like, oh my goodness. And so just kind of going through, no. And I was like, I'm glad I did that before we actually went to the store because
Yes.
I would have been there all day.
Yes.
Trying to figure out which one was best.
And another important part too is just because an item is highly priced doesn't mean it's always the right item.
That's
too.
true.
You can find many good nutritional items at reasonable prices.
So true. So true. At good prices.
Yes.
Depending on where you go. And then, if you shop the outside of the store, that's where they say it's the best anyway, because everything in the middle of the store is set up where it's processed. Everything on the outside, typically bread, fruit, vegetables, meats, and then you have dairy coming around the other side. But typically the outside of the store has the probably healthiest choices.
Yes.
From you.
So all these things that we've been speaking about, the nutrition, the sleep, the physical movement, as well as just talking and connecting with others, are all important aspects of wellness. Yeah. And it's really beneficial for each and every one of us to incorporate these aspects into our daily life.
Yeah, all of these. If wellness was a superhero, what would their superpower be? And what would their name be?
Their superpower. I don't know about an extra superpower name, but you've heard of the saying, I'm okay, you're okay. How about I am one. I am one and I'm a part of everybody. But I am one, and I'm going to do everything in my power to help, not only for myself, but to help others in as much as I can too. Not necessarily by putting too much on your plate, but do what you can reasonably do for yourself each day. So I am one.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. And so if you had any closing remarks to anyone that's watching out there, what main things do you want them to know?
One of the best things I feel that each and every one of us can remember is that just connecting with others, whether it's your family, people in the community, good friends, is an important aspect of wellness. Because from there, not only talk, but you can incorporate planning an event like going for a walk with your friend or a small group of your friends. It's excellent. So if I could stress one thing about wellness, it would be connecting with people. Talk.
And walking with someone is a whole lot better than walking by yourself.
Yes.
It makes the time go. Working out with someone is better than working out by yourself most of the time. Sometimes you might talk too much and you don't get anything done. But I find that I have a group that I run with, and I'm always like, okay, we running. Okay, what day we running this week? Okay, because that community, that encouragement, that, okay, come on, you got one more. Okay, you could do it. To push you a little bit further is important.
Right. And you don't have to run really, really fast either.
No.
Go at the momentum and the speed that you can do comfortably.
Yeah.
So if you're not always way up in front of the crowd and the other people, then you could slow it up. You're all going to be together anyway.
Yeah.
That's the important thing.
Yeah.
You're all together. That's the most important thing.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Michael. Thank you for coming out, visiting us. Thank you for checking out the facility. Thank you for being our guest today on this episode of What Does Wellness Mean? I hope you guys got something out of this. As we mentioned, community and wellness is not just physical. There's so many different aspects of wellness that you can incorporate and should be incorporating into your life. So we thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Jamaica. And it was a lot of fun coming here, and thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, guys, we'll see you next time on our next episode of What Does Wellness Mean? All right, see you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you.